Hello guys and welcome back to another video for the LFC Transfer Room. Today I'm joined by Hungarian fan Mark. Mark is going to give us the lowdown on Dominik Szoboszlai and if he can become Liverpool's Kevin De Bruyne next season. So without further ado, let's get right into the video. So Mark, obviously Szoboszlai has been a very big part of Leipzig, Salzburg and the Red Bull system. Since he's made the step up into their first teams, how is he being used? What position has he been utilized in? And a bit more of his maybe underlying game, not so much just the goals and assists.
Yeah, sure. So when he started from the Liefering, that's one division down to the Salzburg, he started as a 10 or an advanced 8, and that was the main position of his. He played multiple positions, but it was just less percentages. So he's capable of working from the side, so left wing, right wing, second striker. In the Hungarian national team, he played second striker as well. That's not his best position, but I would say the best position of his is this attacking 8 or 10, which we have seen in this box midfield from Liverpool. So I would say that next to Alexis McAllister or in the Jordan Henderson role, that is his best position, and that is what he has played the most in Leipzig and Salzburg, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah, going more onto maybe some of his traits. What do you think is his strengths are? Do you think maybe he's a very technical dribbler? We've seen his right foot, what he can do from free kicks. Obviously, I think he's got a very good a through ball percentage on some stats. What do you think his his big strengths are and what he'll be able to offer to Liverpool?
His best trait for sure is the ball striking ability of his. He can strike the ball effortlessly. He is, I would say, the best one since David Beckham. Maybe I'm a bit enthusiastic about him because I'm a fellow Hungarian of his, but you can see from him, from his highlight reels from the Bundesliga, that he can score any goals. He can pass the ball. He can put you through balls to Darwin Nunez or Hakpo or Salah. So that's one thing I would say. The other thing is dribbling at a high speed, which is a very good trait of his. Um, in the counter presses, he is very good. So he is front-footed in the defending. He is shot creating action in the top 5 league. He is one of the best one. In the Bundesliga, he had the best shot creating action per 90s. So he is very good to creating actions. Set pieces, of course, he is one of the best in Europe, but he will play next to Alexander Arnold. So I guess he will get some shares from that. Dribbling, like I said, is one trait of his, but he is fast, but the acceleration of his is not the best one. So he is not a straight on winger like Salah or Luis Diaz. So you don't have to expect that from him. And yeah, I would say that these are the best ones. But defending wise, he can do everything that you want, but he's not the best one-on-one defender.
Yeah, I mean, moving on to maybe weaknesses, should we say? What he's still very young, obviously, 22 years old. He's got a lot to learn. What do you think Jurgen Klopp can really improve with him? Is there anything that stands out as something that he really needs to improve on, and that is a weakness that Klopp could maybe identify straight away?
Yeah, I would say the first that comes into my mind is the la pausa. That's the Spanish word for that. That to be more calm on the ball. He is very direct, and we know that Liverpool is very direct. So he fits the bill here, but that could be a problem for Liverpool if they are too direct and they are not set for the counter presses. They can be very vulnerable in against counters. So that's one thing. The other thing is back to goal. His play is okay. He's not the best one in that. And in short distances between the lines, he can do it because he has a very good technique. But that's not his best trait. I would say that the best if he can face the goal and he can face the oppositions. and he can hurt them in a lot of ways like that. But back to his goal, it's not his best game. And the other thing is heading. He's not the best header of the ball, and the duels, he is not the best one in that. He does a job, but that's it.
Yeah, obviously in his past, some of the players he's linked up with at his former clubs, Erling Haaland, Nkunku, he had a very good relationship with him, Danny Olmo. How do you think you can, relate them to Liverpool players? Obviously, maybe not as similar, but you've got one of the best passers of the ball who's going to be next to him at all time, Trent Alexander-Arnold, one of the best wingers in the world who we can, link up with, overlap and runs in Mohamed Salah. And he's got maybe a bit more of a raw talent up front, similar to maybe how Haaland was at Salzburg, at Darwin Núñez, with Cody Gakpo as well. Do you think he's going to be able to get the best out of them players? As you said before, he's probably going to be coming in for Jordan Henderson, who's not comparable to Szoboszlai with his technique. So do you think he's going to be able to elevate that Liverpool attack as well as, even the midfield?
For sure. They call this Szoboszlai, Salah, Trent Alexander triangle the deadliest one in football, and I can understand why. Because these overlapping rounds that you mentioned, the De Bruyne-esque like moves of his can be very good, and like I said, he can deliver the ball from the side effortlessly. So what you expect from Alexander-Arnold, you can expect that from Szoboszlai as well. So I would say that the darting runs of Darwin Núñez, the run-ins from Salah, Gakpo, yeah, it will be utilized by him. So I'm sure that he can elevate the standard of Liverpool attacking play, and next to that, he can elevate the counter presses because he's a very physical one. He puts the effort into this, and that's one thing. That's another step from his in his play. That the last year, when there were some rumors that he became a Liverpool player, I was a bit worried about the against the ball play of his. But right now, he puts the work into his this side of his play. So I'm not worried at all about this.
Perfect. And obviously, maybe it's a bit harsh. Obviously, he's very young, 22. Comparing him with kind of the top Premier League talent in a position that he's going to be playing, your Kevin De Bruyne's, your Bruno Fernandes's. Do you think he will be able to offer what they offer? Obviously, the different players in a sense, but they're both about getting goals. They're all about getting assists. Finding that killer pass. Do you think Klopp will be able to mold him into his Kevin De Bruyne or his Bruno Fernandes for Liverpool?
I think he can, but it will take some time. We know that all the Liverpool new players has taken some time. Even Hakpo, who started from his game one, but it takes some time from him to be more familiar with the style of play, and this will take some time for Szoboszlai as well. I'm sure about that. But like you mentioned, that De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes, these are the type of players who is Szoboszlai is. The other thing is in Liverpool there are more wasteful players like De Bruyne, like Fernandes, the Alexander Arnold ones, the Salah, Luis Diaz. They are not playing with 90 plus percentages of pass successes. So this is the one concern in my head, that there are a lot of people that want to do the same as Szoboszlai, giving the killer pass, uh, the through balls, the shots that he has to take in, and it is taken by De Bruyne or Fernandes. It will be taken by 2 or 3 players in Liverpool, and this share will be a problem, or it can be a problem, and it can be it has to be managed very good by Klopp, but I'm sure that he can do that.
And, you know, he made the step up from Salzburg to Leipzig, Austrian league, to the Bundesliga. And now he's going to be taking another big step for the Bundesliga to the Premier League. It's always a mixed bag with Bundesliga talents in the past. You know, just to name a few, Naby Keita maybe didn't live up to his potential. Kai Havertz didn't live up to his potential. But on the flip side, you've got, you know, the likes of Ibrahima Konate, Erling Haaland do have. So it's a very mixed bag. Do you think, obviously we can't see the future, but off your initial, you know, view of Szoboszlai, do you think he is going to be able to step up to the Premier League, and do you think his skill set will lend him well to that?
Yeah, I do. Ian Graham, the former, sadly, the former data analyst of Liverpool, said on a StatsBomb conference that there are 6 traits that can be that has to be ticked in a box that why a new signing can be a failure. And I guess Szoboszlai just ticks all the boxes here. So he knows the system that he comes to. He's better than the player, than the existing player in his role. He is very in a good connection with Klopp. I'm sure that they will have a good connection, but because he is looks up to Klopp already. So I guess he can make the next step. The thing with the Bundesliga tax that you mentioned with Havertz, what we are seeing, that I guess most of the people don't know how to use these players that are coming from the Bundesliga. But in this matter with Szoboszlai and with Liverpool, I'm not afraid of this, because Havertz was a Raumdeuter, as they say, which is a free role in the Bundesliga, which is not in the Premier League at all, and this is why he is struggling a lot. This is my point of view, and Szoboszlai has a very specific role, and this specific role will be offered to him in Liverpool. So I'm not afraid that he cannot be the player that he was in the Bundesliga, in the Premier League.
Yeah, and finally, what are your expectations for Szoboszlai's first season under Jurgen Klopp and at Liverpool? You know, it's hard to kind of give an exact number, but do you expect him to get a decent amount of goals and assists? I think he got 10 in the Bundesliga last season. And as well, do you think he is going to come in as a main starter under Jurgen Klopp?
Yeah, my expectation is he will be mildly just transferred into a starter. So I wouldn't expect that he will be the day one starter in the Premier League. But I guess at the end of the year or the second half of the year, he will be the main starter at this attacking 8 role. And regarding the goals and assists, I would say if he has the minutes that I just mentioned, 2,000 minutes, for example, he will have 5 to 8 goals, I guess, and it can be more assists if he can have the set pieces or some shares of the set pieces, because he is just as good in the set pieces as Alexander-Arnold. So I guess they has to share some of the set pieces as well. So I would say that this 5 to 8 goals and 8 to 10 assists, that is what we can expect from him. But it will be a huge success, of course, if he can deliver these numbers.
Thank you, Mark, for joining us today. Make sure you go into the description and check out his Twitter. Do you think Dominik Szoboszlai can be as good as Bruno Fernandes or Kevin De Bruyne next season? If you do, make sure to leave a comment. Also, while you're down there, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel with the bell notifications on. But I've been Charlie. This has been the LFC Transfer Room. Thank you for watching.